Hello Reds, it's Talking Reds from Liverpool, live from Liverpool with me Gareth Roberts and him Craig Hannan. We're going to have a look at what you're saying in the comment box because it's a live fella. So any good comments or questions or whatever, we'll have a mooch at that. But yeah, as usual, we're going to have a look at what's being said in the news and stuff today. And there's a lot of stuff about Danny Ings today. He wants to fuck off, basically. He wants to leave Southampton. It says that he's turned down the most lucrative contract offer in Southampton's history, a £5 a week. 46 goals in 100 appearances for the Saints. He's been doing well. He's sort of put some of the injury worries behind him, although equally he's not at the Euros because of injury worries. He's 28 now. He's going to be 29 by the time the season starts. Southampton are a situation where maybe they should be selling this summer because next summer they risk losing him on a free, although there is, of course, the January transfer window as well. The Reds sold him for £20 million and there is a 20% sell-on clause. Now, it's rumoured that Southampton want 30 million for him, which would mean the Reds could pocket 6 million. But then people are starting to join some dots, Craig, and say, well, if that's the case and there's this sell-on clause, couldn't we just do Ings back to Liverpool? And then people are throwing a further diddle into the mix and saying they like Minamino and we're seemingly not asked. So could Minamino go there, Ings come back to us, blah, 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 blah. What do you reckon?
No.
Okay.
No.
No,
basically right. I don't want to set my stall out sort of too much here in case it actually does happen, but I mean, it feels like you and I are on Talking Reds back in 2019 or 2018, and it's flipped on its head, doesn't it? In that, like you've just said it there himself, he's not at the Euros because of injuries. I think he scores 41 in about 100 appearances for Southampton, which is good. But I don't think it makes any sense for anyone. I understand that he wants the big move, 28, 29 years old, done well at Southampton, probably wants to play a bit of Champions League football or whatever, but I don't think Liverpool do it. I don't think Klopp does it. I think Klopp's had plenty of opportunities to re-sign players that he's sold. We're forever being, I think, saw us being linked the game of Coutinho yesterday because it's cheap. It's never going to happen, and I just don't see this one happening either. What do you think on it?
Well, Coutinho's a little shithouse who was blagged back injuries and all the rest of it, and went through the press to get his move and all the rest of it. So for me, Bridges Burn, fuck that off. Bored of his name being linked to Liverpool.
The daddy ingredients, what about him?
Well, Ings is a decent fella, isn't he? And I think that's where maybe the link comes from, because Klopp talked him up. Klopp said he didn't want to let him go. Ings, when he did interviews afterwards, when he had gone, he said he wasn't exactly pushed out the door. You remember that, when he did leave, it felt like everyone was a bit sorry to see him go. And his record has been decent for Southampton. I think it's 46 goals in 100. Might have already mentioned that there. I'm half asleep, soz. But I can't see it because of the age thing. That he's 28 now, 29. People are talking about Firmino needing someone else to at least be in competition with him. He's 30 in October. I mean, literally a lad who's a year younger with a bit of a dodgy injury record doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The only way I would say maybe it could happen is we're talking about huge names all the time, and there's a gutter coming up straight after this, and I'm sure there'll be some huge names linked again. I just wonder where we're all, so people are looking at Man United and okay, bought Sancho, and City are being linked to Grealish and Kane and all that sort of stuff. I wonder in our tier of the market, or the tier we like to operate in the market normally, whether there will be a bit of a bargain hunt going on rather than big deals. I don't know. I'd love to see the big deals. I'd love to see Mbappe and all the mad stuff. But this feels very home and bargains rather than John Lewis, doesn't it?
It does. I just don't see Liverpool looking at this and go, well, do you know what's a good deal for us? Southampton wanting 30 million, so obviously there's a bit of a buy bag, so we might be able to do some negotiation. We'll negotiate Minamino into it. I just don't see Liverpool still getting a good deal out of it. They might get him for cheaper than what Southampton want, but it still doesn't make it a good deal for Liverpool.
He got off because he wanted game time as well, didn't he? And then you're coming back and you've got the front three.
He's actually got more in front of him this time, and you're Jota, so he'll be coming back in a worse off situation. And I think that You see, I'm trying to think about who might be good for him, because I've seen he's been linked with Chelsea, and I just don't see that happening. European champions, they'll want to sign someone big, I think. So where is he going? That's going to get him European football, or maybe a Leicester, but then Leicester have signed Daka.
Spurs have been linked. City have been linked in the past, but if they think they're getting Kane, they're not going to get him as well, are they? United have been linked in the past as well. Some big names, but I don't know. I kind of think, like someone put there, the grass being greener, and I think there's maybe something in that as well. In that he left for game time, he gets it out at Southampton. Anytime he's fit, he's in the first team. He starts. He's got a good rapport with his teammates. He scores a lot of goals. He ended up in everyone's fantasy team and all the rest of it. I just think maybe, big fish, small pond and all that. Like that suits some people. And if he comes back to Liverpool and he's a squad fella again, he's going to be like unhappy again. So I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Someone mentioned there that there's a lot to be said for home and bargains, and
no,
I fully agree.
Absolutely,
it's fucking brilliant.
I'll talk to you all day. Sometimes I just go walk around home and bargains and B&M just to walk around because I love them so much.
There's a new home and bargains, in Formby.
Oh, I bet that's good. Oh, big one.
A big fella. Yeah, you can buy a car and an house from there and all.
I mean, nothing's beating B&M on Edge Lane, by the way. It's fucking brilliant. That's where I go from a shop, and sometimes not the shop, just walk around. It's incredible, really good. So what? I mean, not to maybe we've downplayed both those.
Sponsored by Home and Bargains.
Just from the city, isn't it?
They sponsored Tranmere once.
Yeah, good company as well. See the owner, it's sort of
Kirby lad.
Yeah. If you're watching.
Gives a bell, lad. What else have we got going on?
There's a lad that designed the B&M. I talked about the B&M, and I know this isn't what you want, by the way, but there's a lad that designed the layout of the B&M on Edge Lane, and he's an Anfield Wrap subscriber. He watches and listens, and when he tweeted me, he was like almost starstruck by it. I was like, fucking hell, I love those aisles.
Did he get it? Did you have a chat about the psychology, like where they put the bread and all that, and you know what I mean?
No, but it works on me. Like whenever you're walking, I don't need sweets. Maybe I will have a look in the sweet aisle. Brilliant.
I mean, there is incest and all that shit. They put the bread furthest away, don't they, so that you've got to walk through everything else to get to it, and then on the way you're like, oh,
Haribo. 2 for 1.
I needed a patio set. What else have we got then? Oh yeah, well just on the Ings thing. I mean, I think we're agreeing that we don't see us going for Ings. I don't really see that, but I mentioned Firmino's 30 in October. Common consensus is that his form's dropped off a little bit. There's talk that Origi could be sticking around, mainly because the right offer looks unlikely, both in terms of a fee for Liverpool and in terms of opportunity for him, i.e. the right club. But Klopp's shown, I think last season, that he doesn't trust them anymore. Only 6 starts, only 1 goal, and that was Lincoln in the League Cup. Do you think we do need to get someone else in up front, or do you think he'll stick with what he's got?
We absolutely need to get someone else in. You can't sit around and watch everyone else do big business, and by big business I don't mean like necessarily throwing 90 million, 100 million, but what we've seen this club do really well is find a player just at the sweet point. So just as they're about to sort of explode, Jota, Salah, Mane, like one of them, but I mean, I saw a lot of talk around Sancho and sort of why Liverpool weren't in the hunt for that, and I think that for that kind of deal, and I think Liverpool needs someone down the middle. They absolutely need so. You're buzzing off someone. I'm trying to do serious football chat here, and you're buzzing off a comment. Go on then.
Snoop Dogg has put fuck Ings, get me nan in, which I enjoyed. But I also like Cameron Bell saying you can't beat the little bakery, and then
he's not wrong. That's good.
Limpin' Monkey also says Craig Hannan starstruck by Home and Bargains. Never change.
What was it doing? The serious footy chat. Yeah,
the frauds.
Yeah, I think Liverpool needs someone that's a proper centre forward, and look, we've talked about Firmino being this like vital cog in a machine for years, but I think this Liverpool side now are going to have to progress, and the squad going to have to progress, and I love Roberto Firmino. I love having him about. I love him as an option, but I'd also love a new number 9 in there that can bang goals, because suddenly Liverpool would have 5 proper options. And if you want to keep Origi round and then be the 6th, then so be it. I think Harvey Elliott coming back as well. He might end up being the 6th.
Yeah.
So it might with Origi, it might just be a case of Klopp saying, well, if we're going to not get the right offer, he's not causing any sort of harm being about here. If he's happy enough, we're all right with it. His wages aren't high. We'll keep him around.
Mane, Salah, Firmino, Jota, Origi, Elliott, Nan. Someone wants Carol the kitchen lady up front as well. Would Origi have gotten more game time if we didn't have all the injuries?
So if the injuries happened at the other end of the pitch and not centre backs, for instance?
Is he saying we were playing our big hitters into the ground because there was so much inexperience elsewhere? I think maybe that's what he's getting at. I think
Origi last season showed that when he was given the chance, we couldn't rely on him. There's a moment where he's through against was it Burnley? Yeah, just before the half time, and he's straight through on goal and he doesn't get it. And obviously that's the beginning of the house of cards falling down. I'm not blaming Origi, but what I'm saying is in those moments, as a striker, as a number 9, you have to take your chances. I would love someone that's on the toes of Roberto Firmino and saying, right, this isn't your spot anymore. In the same way that Jota come in and managed to. We might even see Jota sort of slot in there. They might have something up their sleeve in that, but we still need to sign someone up there.
The Wolfman's got nards says, I got fired from B&M for walking too slowly when I had a broken foot. They're ruthless.
Oh no!
Heavy that, lad.
Oh, you're going to ruin it. It wasn't the Edge Liam one. It can't have been the Edge Liam one. They're nice.
I mean, come on. I mean, the nice in the item one. The item B&M's quality.
Maybe the big bosses are bell-ends, the suits, but the people on the ground are the good ones.
Someone says Ings is an Arsenal player all day.
That might be a shout, actually. That's a decent shout. I just don't see it as this massive sort of leap in terms of, I think he's been talking about he wants European football, and I'm just saying things about Arsenal here just to annoy Sam in the background. He's not biting.
Barry says this is interesting. We were talking about this on one of the shows the other day. Barry says we've got too much loyalty we had too much loyalty to Lallana and Lovren. And now it's the same with Origi. Klopp needs to be ruthless. I get that shout, but it's not how he runs the club, though, is it? So, I think it's really difficult with Origi in that he was given a new deal. He hasn't done anything wrong. You imagine behind the scenes that he's just being Civic, isn't it? We've heard about him that he's quite laid back, that he like the lads like him, that but he turns up at the very last minute, but just on time, sort of thing. Someone's ringing me here. Rob Gutman's ringing me. Wait, Rob. So you can't just sort of throw him under the bus. It's not Klopp's style, is it, to do that? And that might well mean that he's still here again.
I think it's different to Lallana and Lovren in that the two of those were seen as leaders within the dressing room, and so they're sort of used to Jurgen Klopp and went beyond what they did in the pitch, if you know what I mean. They were seen as like cultural architects, and we might laugh at that idea around Dejan Lovren, but the players really liked him, and he was a big personality in there. And Lallana as well. I don't know if he was one of the leadership team, but he was certainly he was certainly a player that was sort of highly regarded in terms of what he offered on and off the pitch. So that's completely different to Origi. I think it's just who buys Origi, and it's who comes in and at what price, and even how much. I can't work out how much he's worth at the minute, because I know they were talking about like 15 million last summer. It's not worth 15 million. Is he worth 10? I'm not sure. He's worth 10 if you can get what you can get out of him, what Origi has in him, if that makes sense. The best version of him, but it's who's willing to take that punt at a time whenever there's not a lot of money running around.
More on the broken foot situation. The Wolfman's got nard says this was the original one in Cleveland's. It's different owners now. He said the broken foot was their fault as well. A dodgy trolley filled with domestos fell on it.
That is how I know.
Tell you what.
Also, hear new ownership's taken over though.
Mick Moran says if you don't receive 500 packs of complimentary Maryland cookies within 2 days, then B&M are bellends.
Imagine that was the case, and then like Talking Reds in a month, it's just us, but we're like, you know, a stone heavy, or just eating the kitty crumbs on the t-shirt.
I'll happily eat cookies all day, save on me grocery bill, innit? Up the Reds. What else are we going to talk? A few other little bits and bobs before we dive off and go and do the gutter, which you can subscribe to, which is a lot more transfer chat and in-depth and all the rest of it. That's there on the Anfield Wrap, theanfieldwrap.com. Download the app as well, and you can have a go of premium stuff for free, like the gutter. A couple of the bits that I know aren't on the gutter. Tsimikas again is being talked up in Italy as being a potential target for Inter Milan. He only played 7 times in all comps last season for Liverpool, and Inter are looking for a fullback to replace Ashley Young.
Remember him?
I know, yeah. I can't see this in that, you know, there seems to have already been a line, I think, from some of the Liverpool-based journalists that he's not going anywhere. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. Like, 7 times isn't a lot of opportunity. Robertson's a machine and just plays every single fucking game for Liverpool, it seems. But there may well come a time we need to call upon a left-back, and, you know, we've literally got a fella here. So I can't see that, can you?
No. I can't at all. I know you just mentioned there, I think there was a bid from, was it Sevilla or something like that, in January, who wanted to bring him in, and Liverpool said no. If they're saying no back then, I would imagine it's the same again. I haven't seen anything from Tsimikas. It's about to say I haven't seen anything from Tsimikas to sort of allow me to judge whether he's good enough to play for Liverpool, because, like you say,
Robertson played every game.
I feel like every time he came on, it was like with a minute left, he'd run on the pitch. And
Robertson and Wijnaldum, I think, were top minutes, weren't they, for Liverpool last season? So yeah, we never got to see him.
It'll all depend on the background. Idea. It'll all depend on the background. How
he had COVID as well, didn't he?
Yeah, so. and also it's a very, very hard time to settle. Jurgen Klopp mentioned that in his interview with us, that like footballers like Tsimikas coming in, not being able to sort of see the team outside of training, and gel and bond and build a new life here. You know what I mean? Just settle into a new country for him. It will have been difficult, but I think Liverpool do need a fullback this summer. It'd be brilliant if they could find one that could do both. But I think especially if there's talk of Nico Williams going as well.
I love the amount of chat on B&M is absolutely wild. Bought me nan a pack of blueberry bakewells from B&M. She said they were lovely, buzzing. Brilliant, really good. Maybe we should just do it like a YouTube show where we review B&M's product.
Lad, I'll do a channel, me and you.
Mate, I'd be banging to that.
So would I love it.
Just visiting B&M's around the country going, this is sound, innit?
Me going round with a trolley like supermarket sweep, it'd be brilliant.
Fucking hell. I mean, we might be
Let us know if you
really
will bin this off.
One last thing then quick. Harry Wilson's a Porto, £15 million. Is a link that has been put out there by Duncan Castles, who's a massive knobhead. But we'll talk about it anyway briefly. Harry Wilson is 24. That seems loads of money, a bit like the Origi thing. He's got a contract at the Reds till 2023, but he's been on loan at Cardiff, Bournemouth, Derby, Hull and Crewe Alexandra. I think there's something in the post there saying they don't want him. You know what I mean? He got sent off in the Euros as well, didn't he? Harshly. But yeah, look, the lad can play, and he scored some nice free kicks and stuff like that. What's a nice way of putting this? He's not physically a suit, a fit, if you like, for what Klopp does for me.
I just can't stop thinking about Castaway. You know, Wilson. I think you're spot on there. It's funny that all the interest has come from Portugal. I saw Benfica as well. Benfica and Porto interested in him. I think you're right. He had a good season at Cardiff this season, but he hasn't. It's not Player of the Year. It's not it's not him sort of head and shoulders above absolutely everyone else. And he's one of those football. Sam needs to stop laughing at the comments because I'm trying to do football chat. I'm trying to do football. I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool. I think there was a bit of a clamour last season to give him a go, and and the only suitors that he could find were in the Championship, and it feels harsh because he is a good footballer, and you know, he was coming off the bench for Wales at times, and even, you know, I thought he looked quite good. He looks tidy, scores free kicks, did well for Bournemouth. Hopefully he can get a decent move in the Premier League. If not, going to Portugal. I mean, that'd be some move, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Champions League football for him. I'd be delighted for him, but yeah, he's not Liverpool standard, I don't think.
Ian Hadley says, are we after free Haribos? Not really into them.
No, I love Haribos. Star Mix? No, not into them.
Not into
Giant
them.
Straubs.
What were them Bosch chocolates we got that time when we watched the match upstairs? Little Robins. Or something?
Little Robins, Cadbury's Little Robins. Cadbury's. If you're watching Mr. Cadbury,
any Robins,
any Little Robins, bring them out again.
Any Robins for the team.
I was googling to see can we get any more Little Robins again, and it said that they had to retract them because there was like some
We're
problems.
two little thirsty bastards here, aren't we? Like, absolutely desperate for freebies. I mean,
I'll buy my Little Robins. Do you know what I mean?
If you
bring
want
them
to
back,
send,
make them available for me to buy.
it's the Anfield Wrap at.
Imagine someone tuning in here.
Is it 17 Man Island Avenue HQ, Liverpool?
Address it to Craig Hannan as well.
L3.
I'll make sure the team gets it.
Is it L3 1BP or 2BP?
1BP.
1BP.
No one from fucking B&M's watching this.
Imagine we just got like a massive parcel with loads of Bosch stuff.
And then we'll do an unboxing, because that's what YouTube likes. We'll
Yeah.
unbox it in front of you
B&M
guys.
unboxing.
We'll watch it. We'll eat it live. Hopefully no one from work watches this video.
You won't have got this far into it.
No way.
Anyway,
No way.
the gutter is about to start. I am on the gutter, so I'm going to go and dive on it. If you want to watch that or listen to that, rather, we'll get stuck in on the Anfield Wrap, theanfieldwrap.com. Download the app as well. Hope the Reds, that's been Talking Reds. Wild, wasn't it?